Good evening, everybody, and welcome to this evening's full council on the 2nd of July at Pine Green Room. It's 7:30. Before we start, a quick bit of housekeeping. We're not expecting a fire drill, so if we do get one, it's probably the real thing. The exits are the way that you came into the building, and out this door, down the corridor to the left-hand side is also a fire exit. So push the right hand down. Other than that, we're okay to continue. Item 1 on the agenda is apologies, to receive any apologies for absence.
Councillor Ranger.
Yep. Please, thank you. Item 2 on the agenda is declarations of interest. Arising from this agenda, members and officers are invited to declare any relevant interests. Notwithstanding this item, members may subsequently declare an interest at any point during the meeting. Do we have any? Councillor Smith.
I'm on the orders of payment.
Councillor Brown. Order of payments, and Councillor Carson, also order of payments. Thank you. Item 3 on the agenda, to receive the... Yes, sorry.
Can I ask for all votes tonight, including the confidential, to be recorded, please?
Good. Yeah, no problem.
Yep.
Yeah. Item 3 on the agenda, to receive the minutes of the previous full council meeting, to receive and confirm the accuracy of the minutes of the annual council meeting held on the 21st of May 2025. Are you all happy for me to sign them as being accurate statements?
Agreed.
Happy? Yep. Okay. Item 4 on the agenda, to receive the minutes of the previous finance and admin and personal meeting, to receive and confirm the accuracy of the minutes of the finance, admin and personal meeting held on the 30th of April. Don't actually have the minutes to hand.
To sign, but
the
members of that committee should have seen them. And
yeah, so if the members of that committee are happy for me to sign them at a later date and agree for them to be signed. For all those present? Yeah.
Your member has to be recorded as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
can you sign that?
Yeah,
So who else? No, yeah, it's just who it's 3. Yeah, it's only because Councillor Berry had his hand in it. Your hand was in the air, but that's fine.
Thanks, Joe.
Thanks.
Okay,
Yeah.
Okay, item 5 on the agenda. Denby Parish Council projects, to note the ongoing project report from the parish clerk.
So the movements on the is obviously the land purchase progressing. We've also got the Fields in Trust, so that's progressing. Yeah, so we're working quite closely with that. Probably reports weekly or 2 weekly to get that moving quite quickly, bearing in mind the delays. And if the land and the boundary disputes now all closed, and all cases closed. Okay.
Thank you. Item 6 on the agenda, public participation. This meeting will recess for not more than 15 minutes to allow any members of the public to address the meeting. We have one this evening. Would you like to address the meeting?
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Okay. My name is Wendy Wright. I know some of you on the committee. I've been coming to the parish council meetings for probably 4 or 5 years now. I've also been involved with the Denby Neighbourhood Plan Steering Group, and I've been on that since its inception as well. We had our last meeting last night when Councillor Andreoli advised us that because of the changes in the council structure, he thought it was only right that he offered to resign as chairman of the steering group. I'm only talking for myself, I'm not talking for the steering group, but I don't know that there's anybody else on the council who will have the knowledge and the experience that Kevin's got. And we've come so far, we might not be a great band of people, but we've all got the same aim, and that is to do what we can to protect Denby as a village. So I would like to ask that when you have your discussion about this later on, that you really do seriously consider keeping Kevin on, because I think we would be stuffed if we don't.
Right, if there's nothing else to say, I'll close the public participation session and move on to item 7 on the agenda, to receive the minutes, reports and recommendations and resolutions from the meetings below, the highways and general purposes on the 7th of May 2025 and the planning on the 14th of May 2025. Item 8 on the agenda, receive the district council reports, to receive a report from the county and district councillors. Councillor Hayford-Smith.
Thank you. So my update for this month is primarily around local government reorganisation. This is the current issue that could have a significant impact on the parish and its residents, not just now, but for years to come, in terms of the services the village receives, provides, and also the costs that are associated with those services to residents. As yet, no one from the parish council has attended a formal briefing to be able to speak to residents about this matter, and both Howk and Winchester have held parish briefings. Can I please urge you all to make yourselves aware of the issues and the impacts? Can I point you to the Winchester consultation, which is now available online? It's in the form of a survey which went live on Monday, and it's a survey that's been jointly developed with 12 of the 15 councils that are involved in this across Hampshire and the Isle of Wight, and the link is in the document which will be attached to the minutes. The survey's got 4 sections to complete, and the third one shows the proposals for the new council areas, which includes a map, so it's really visual for people to be able to see. And Winchester would very much appreciate parish councillors' support in spreading the word. They are going to be hosting drop-in sessions, a kind of roadshow across the district, so that people can come and talk to the district councillors. They are Monday the 7th of July is the week that it starts. That's at Meadowside Leisure Centre in Whiteley. Alresford Market is on the Thursday. The 14th of July is Wickham Square. 15th of July is South Wonston Pavilion. 21st of July is Colden Common Community Centre. And Wednesday the 23rd is the important one for us. That's at All Saints. It's not actually in the church hall, although it might be, it just depends. I think they're going to have a lot of people there when they start promoting the fact. They've got Heath Room at the moment, and if anyone knows Heath Room, it's not very big at all. And then the final one is Thursday the 24th of July on Winchester High Street. Timescales are very short, and the outcome of the consultations will be worked into proposals which will go to government in September, so it really is a very short timescale. There was a local councils conference which Clerk, Chairman and Vice Chairman were invited to, but I'm not sure that anybody from Denmead attended. There is an update on the local plan examination, which is the second biggest thing that could affect Denmead. The inspectors' hearing sessions have all been completed, and again on my document there is a link for the latest news section on the local plan website, and that details the schedule of main modifications, which is as a result of feedback from the inspectors' hearings, so that the inspectors' feedback is fed straight into the local plan and amended accordingly. And then finally there is a Mayor's fundraiser. The Mayor's charity walk is the scavenger hunt and is planned for Saturday the 19th of July. It's a circular walk starting from Abbey House in Winchester, and it's suitable for children and families, and again there's a link on there for that document. Thank you very much.
Okay. Sorry?
Question for me. I was looking for the link for the consultation. You described that it's embedded within some minutes. I couldn't readily find that link, and I wondered if I could ask if you would send me or us that link.
Well, it will be attached to the minutes, so I've actually put the link to the document. It's ourplace.commonplace.is. It's not where they normally hold their consultations, but it's because it's across a dozen councils. So there are 15 councils that are involved, and they wanted to put it on a platform that all can access. So I've put the link in the document for everybody. It is also, I did a post on Facebook under my councillor profile, and there is a link there to that document as well. It does take about an hour to fill out, so it's not a short, it's not short. And the difficulty is the area that it says, so for example, it says, what do you consider to be your local area? and you can either write what you consider your local area to be, or you can draw it on a map. And when you draw it on the map, you then have to press the send button and it doesn't show you that it's sent. So I did that twice because I thought it hadn't sent. So it's not very intuitive, but it is there. So the link is there, and that is only Winchester's consultation. Hampshire will also be doing a consultation. Portsmouth have also said, all of this is in my Facebook post, but Portsmouth have also said that they will be doing a consultation as well, because the proposal is that Denmead goes under a combined Portsmouth, Fareham, Havant, Gosport unitary. So that's all in the Facebook post.
I think it's very concerning that it's an hour long. I can't see your general.
No, indeed. You can just fill out the last section, but it doesn't tell you that.
Okay, thank you.
Very sobering. Thank you, councillors. On to item 8. Sorry, item 9. I would say item 1. Financial. 8.1, orders for payment. To consider and approve the orders for payment for list 05. All invoices listed have been examined, verified and certified by the RFO to consider and approve. Those here. Anyone wish to raise any concerns or issues? Everyone happy for me to sign? Or show hands, please? Would you have a second to record?
Yep.
So just the bottom.
Just on each page, sign and date, yeah, at the bottom there. Yeah, no, yeah. Lots.
There you go.
One, yeah.
This is the one in the footballer's signature.
Yeah.
Interesting. So yes,
So, yeah.
thank you. Okay. I will say 9.2, although it says 8. 9.2 accounts. To note, the accounts for May 2025 have been issued previously circulated as of the 31st of May 2025 to note. Point 3, considerations. To receive and agree the bank balances previously circulated as of the 31st of May 2025, to confirm the balances for the chairman to sign the statements and reconciliations. To receive and agree the bank balances and the chairman to sign the statements and reconciliation. Lloyd's current account, account number 23336468, the balance is 336.348.42.
Sorry. It was 366, not 336.
Oh, sorry, beg your pardon. So that's 366,348.42 pence. Clarification. Okay. Thank you. And the cooperative current account number 65807918, balance of 5,087.86p. Thank you.
So this is your, you need to vote for.
Can I have a show of hands for those that agree for me to sign, please?
Yeah, unanimous, yeah. Yes, each page again and date it.
Thank you. And again on this one.
Yeah, and that's the other bank account, yeah.
Thank you. Okay. Point 4, correspondence. Email dated the 18th to the 6th, 2025. Increase of hourly rates from the 1st of the 9th, 2025. To note that Denmead Community Centre will be increasing their charges effective of the 1st of the 9th, 2025. That's to note. Point 5, correspondence. Letter dated the 21st of the 6th, 2025. Thank you for the grant awards. To note that CAB, Citizens Advice Bureau, Winchester District, have sent a letter thanking DPC for their grant award 2025, and that's to note. Okay, on to item 9. I know it's another thing. Reports from the parish representatives and other bodies and organisations. This one is Denmead Community Centre, which Councillor Ranger and myself. I've met with them a couple of times, and their main topic at the moment is their proms in the park. They're looking forward to holding this Saturday. Previous events they had outside, which many of you might have seen, was the fun fair, if you will, which was a good event for the community, and they gained a lot of footfall from that, a lot of response. So they're looking to hold that again. They've got some upcoming events which they're trying to pencil in for the rest of the year. But so far that's and the next one is the proms. So that's the yes, go ahead, yeah, Councillor Brown.
Can I ask who attended that meeting?
It was originally supposed to be myself and Councillor Ranger, but Councillor Ranger was needed to disappear, which is why there was a second councillor that was going to attend, but in the end was not needed, as Councillor Ranger was able to stay for the rest of the evening. Moving on to Winchester District Association of Local Councils. Yes.
I did ask at the time, asked Councillor Stallard why he was attending, and he said he was a member of the committee, or a member, and was going for a meeting.
Okay, step at a time. Okay, on to thank you, Councillor Brown. Winchester District Associations of Local Councils and Southern Parishes is the second. That's myself. So I attended my first one. I think it was early. I think if I can get that accurate. So for me, it's more of a meet and greet and an introduction, which was well received. The main topics for the discussions for that was fly tipping and how to best combat fly tipping in your area. There's an increase of this happening, but there are some methods in place in order to combat it. Some councils are looking at doing security cameras or night cameras to see if we can catch them. Reporting any of this to your local authority is the first avenue you should go through. And obviously, if you see it happening, you can call the police, but there's no good calling the police after the event has happened, which a lot of people have been doing. So it's trying to educate the locals to how to best report fly tipping. Also, we just on the agenda, another good topic was the local government reform, which Councillor Langford Smith has summarised a good report for us this evening. They're looking, this is just for council, they are looking to come to Denmead, not next time, but the time after, and I couldn't confirm whether or not that's something we would be able to accommodate, but they would like to come to us at some point to hold their southern parishes here. Is that something we can accommodate, and the council's happy for that too? Go ahead, yeah. How's our journey?
We have in the past year, the stumbling block is finding a room here big enough.
I know.
That's available.
Yeah.
So if you've got a date, it would be a good idea to try and see if we can accommodate it this far out.
Okay, so if we do that, council's happy for you to put us forward for hosting, as you were? Okay, thank you. Next one is how we're doing the District Welfare and Education Trust. Councillor Andrew.
There won't be another meeting till December. So it's only twice a year.
Okay. Thank you. Denmead Scouts Liaison, Councillor Kay and myself. We did have a date in the diary, but unfortunately the Scouts have had to reschedule, so we're now just waiting for another date availability so that we can get something underway. DPC Lease Working Party, Councillor Clay and Berry. The only ones we've met through so far is the preschool. They were wanting to meet up with us quite recently, which I've managed to do as of Monday. So we've got a report coming to the next amenities regarding that. Other than that, that's the only update for that. Denmead Football Club, next Councillor Clay and Councillor Stars. Yet waiting for a date to see if we can arrange a meet up with them on that one. Okay. Yeah, Councillor Brown.
Just a question, if it's a lease working party, it needs to come back to full council.
Okay.
Lease working party reports to full council, doesn't report to amenities.
Okay, thank you. Denmead Boarding Club. Again, we're just waiting for a date availability so that we can arrange meet up and introduce ourselves. Thank you. Okay, item 10 on my agenda is the Landscape Working Party. To consider the reintroduction of the Landscape Working Party to work on a schedule of works with the Heads Ground Fund and in agreement with the committee. Terms of reference will be established. Please consider and approve. Thoughts from anyone? This was deferred from our last. Oh, sorry, yes.
I'm a little bit confused, so we need a little bit of education around it. So I would have sort of assumed that this sort of stuff would come through another avenue. So I wonder why there is a need for it, given the fact that there are lots of lots of busy council sponsors. Just wanted to know what the reason might be for that. So
We
that's
haven't-
my education.
As far as I can go, we haven't had a landscape working party since 2022. Council, please correct me if I'm wrong. Councillor Brown.
You are wrong, it's a long time before that.
Was it a long time before that?
Yeah. 2025 now, it's only 3 years ago.
Before COVID.
It's pre-COVID.
Okay. May I ask why, at the time, why that was disbanded or not continued? Why? What was the? I remember.
I think there's a lot of people who were on it and decided they didn't want to do it anymore.
Didn't want to do it.
It was just a gradual thing of people leaving, I think, either from council and to the public, and it just
It's fizzled down.
fizzled out.
Councillor Angela.
Basically, it was introduced many years back to try and avoid possibly lengthy discussions at the meetings about how much we should prune a certain tree or a certain number of trees and when and things like that. So it was a working party which included the head groundsman, not the current one, but the previous one, obviously, at the time, and councillors had the ability to ask other members of non-councillors to attend, which is why it's a working party, not a subcommittee or a committee, to look at possible problem areas and come up with effectively agreed solutions, which can be then brought as a proposal to amenities. And it also, in the past, meant that the head groundsman did turn up to amenities because everything he needed to discuss had been discussed previously at the landscape working party. But that was the reason behind it. I mean, obviously, I wasn't at the last amenities, but the previous 2 or 3 there was discussion about trees on Southwark Road, etc. How much they should be pruned and which ones. That would have been a discussion at the working party and then a proposal brought to amenities. My understanding.
Thank you for the clarity.
Councillor Smith.
Thank you. I think the agenda item should have been to consider and discuss as opposed to consider and approve. And I was the person that made the approval as chair of amenities at the time. I withdraw my proposal.
Okay, we will move on. Thank you. Item 11 on my agenda, Demi Community Garden, to receive a report from Councillor Carson for plans at the DCC to consider and determine action. Councillor Carson, please.
Thank you.
Okay, if you don't. Councillor Smith.
Thank you, Chair. I believe this is actually on the wrong agenda because the action with regards to the community garden was an amenities discussion. It was 0826A, and there was a resolution made. So I believe that this should go back to amenities as opposed to being on full council.
Councillor Carson.
I'm more than happy. I don't disagree. So if everybody is happy that comes back to, I think the issue is, in actual fact, as Councillor Brown reminds, that lease agreements come back to full council, and there is a requirement as the landlord to consent to part of the plan, part of the proposed land. So,
but my reason for saying that it needs to go back to amenities is because otherwise we don't have the audit trail going through the decision process for the auditors when they go through the minutes. So they'll see that there was a resolution at amenities, and then it just stops there, it's dead. They can't find it anywhere else, so it needs to go back to amenities for a further resolution and update the resolution.
Back to amenities, make a recommendation if one's required, bring it back to full council for approval for the lease. I don't see any issue with that because in actual fact the piece of land that is under discussion, to be honest, they're not going to do anything with this year anyway, so we've got plenty of time to handle that.
Okay. Thank you. Sorry, Councillor Brown.
I'd like to ask where this discussion came from, where the originator came from to have this discussion. Because the last thing with the community garden was that they were offered a piece of land behind the bungalows in Ashton Park Road, and the agenda or the resolution was that a meeting would be arranged between Councillor Carson and another councillor, Green and Denny, and the residents who had complained, and that was the only remit to have gone forward. The resolution.
Sorry, Councillor Carson.
The resolution to speak with Green and Denny led to their discussions after their meeting with staff. I'm not in a position to refuse to speak to them when it's been part of the conversation about a resolution that was made, and that's what I want to say.
Okay, so is Council happy to defer this to the Amenities Committee? Can I have a show of hands for those that agree that that's happy? Okay, Joe? Yeah. Item 12 on my agenda is the neighbourhood plan, to receive a verbal update on the neighbourhood plan from Councillor Angioli. Okay.
Thank you, Chair. We had as we've already heard, a steering group meeting yesterday evening. The one previously, beginning of June, it was agreed that we would forward the, I hesitate to call it a draft plan, but I did I labelled it as such, to Winchester, so they were aware of where we were going. That was at the suggestion of our paid advisor. So I did so early in June. I then had to chase the Winchester officers to actually acknowledge the fact that they actually received it. But I didn't expect a comment back from them, but they didn't even acknowledge the email. So they've had that now for a couple of weeks. But as we've heard, they've had inspection of exceedingly busy with that, so it'll be a while before they get back to us. We're not looking for detailed responses, just whether they go, okay, that looks all right so far, oh my god, no, you can't do that, which they shouldn't do, but you know, you could never be sure. In the meantime, we're carrying on last night's discussion. Some members will be aware that we did a parking survey on the three most recent developments in the village to try and judge the situation, because the new local plan no longer defines so strictly the amount of parking for a new development. In actual fact, at one point they were talking about saying to developers, we'll justify why you put any parking spaces in at all. We have, the steering group has decided, following a survey which wasn't very well responded to, but that's typical for Denby, that we will put into our draft neighbourhood plan what is the current standard for Winchester, which they're removing, mainly because we had very few, well, I don't think we had any complaints about parking on Carpenter's Field site, but there were a lot of complaints regarding Hatchmore and Little Frenchies, so, which don't have the same standard. So we are looking to put in what up until now is Winchester's standard into our plan, and the hopes that we can get that through, and then any new development going forward should have similar parking facilities and similar sized garages to what is at Carpenter's. A lot of the problem with the older development is the old garage standard was such that modern cars don't go in them, which makes it even worse for parking situations. People may not use them as for parking, but at least if they've got one that their car will fit in, then got less excuse. So, yeah, that basically covers it really. We're waiting for some initial reaction back from Winchester, and we're carrying on with what needs to be done. I'm happy to try and answer questions, but there's not a great deal.
I presume in that, as long as going with the standards, we give reasoning in the fact that we don't have a bus service after 5 o'clock or at weekend, on Sunday anyway. We have no train service and all the rest of those things.
And we will reference that are not very well responded to survey, but it was a reasonable amount for a reasonable percentage for Denby, shall I say? Which, if you get more than 4% in Denby, you're doing well.
Just to say, we delivered the whole of Carpenter's, the whole of Hatchmore, and the whole of the Frenchies. So it wasn't lack of trying. All of the relevant departments, all of the relevant developments were actually, had a hard copy mailed to them, and they could complete it online as well. So we did our best. As Kevin said, unfortunately, we don't get much of a response, but I think the sample base was big enough that we showed that we had consulted.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so part 2 of that, neighbourhood plan still. Full council previously appointed Councillor Andrew Owen to chair the neighbourhood plan steering group. In view of recent changes of the structure of DPC, Councillor Andrew Owen offers to resign from his appointment to discuss and determine action.
You heard from our member of the public this evening. I was also at the meeting last night, and everybody else on the steering group reflected what Mrs Wright has said this evening. I propose that Councillor Andrioli remains as our lead for the neighbourhood plan.
Okay, we have a proposal, but I will hear Councillor Castle.
I think it's a shame that you feel you have to bring that to us, but as a member of the public has said, Councillor Lamb has absolutely. I don't think there's a single person in this room that would consider you're not the right man for the job in that.
There is one.
You don't. Yeah, you don't feel like that. I know that that's everybody's feelings, I'm sure. So,
I feel the same, Kevin. I think your knowledge of the village is an endless reservoir, which we all can be able to take from.
Well,
I think.
I
Do
have
you know what? Water.
I have to admit that I'm the only one on the council who was there last time. We did a neighbourhood plan, except for the gentleman next to me, but he, for a different reason, had to withdraw from doing it. But, only two of us left.
Right, quickly.
I
Yes, please,
will
Councillor
second
Carson.
Councillor Anderson.
Right, okay, we've had a proposal and a seconder. Please may I have a show of hands for all in favour of Kevin to remain? That's unanimous. Oh, sorry, did you not put your hand up, Kevin?
No, we didn't.
I know, but
You
I
can.
did myself. I should have stayed.
Someone pinch his elbow, quick. Okay.
Thank you. I think
Thank you, Kevin. Right. Okay, Jim?
Yep,
Got the
that's
recording
fine,
here?
yep.
Okay, on to item 13 on my agenda is the membership of the committee and subcommittee for the ensuing municipal year 2025-26 to agree on membership of the Twinning Association to discuss and agree. I believe I'm going to have to defer this item because it's slightly misworded. This was intended to be the continuation of myself being the Twinning representative, or for someone else obviously to take it if they wish to. But it's not a membership of a committee or subcommittee as far as my knowledge goes. Councillor Smith?
The reason that it was taken off was because it's a membership organisation. So if we add the Twinning Association, why would we not add the WI? Why would we not add the church? There are lots of organisations throughout the village that are a fundamental part of village life and have lots of members, so why would we just have the Twinning? That was the reason that Twinning was not represented. We did not have representative on Twinning because we don't have representative on the church, we don't have representative on WI, we don't have representatives on the village association.
Okay. Councillor Brown, you had your hand up?
No, you covered part. I was going to say there's not a committee or subcommittee.
Yeah. The Twinning Association has had reps before my time, I believe. Kevin? Councillor Andrew, were you once a rep of Twinning? No? Okay. They are interested in continuing this, and it's a very good relationship to continue to build, so I would like this to be considered, so I'd like to defer it and bring it back if I may. Councillor Andrew?
I don't know if I had a rep as such, but until, let me get this right, up until 5 parish chairmen ago, the chairmanship of the Twinning Association was held by the chairman of the council. And my predecessor declined. I declined. Councillor Langford Smith declined. And for a long period, one of the previous chairmen of the council was chairman of the Twinning Association. So I don't think we necessarily had a rep, but for a longish period, the chairman of the Twinning Association was the chairman of the council.
I think I filled it for 4 years, was it? 4 years? It used to be on the agenda. I found old agendas with myself on it. I think I was there for 4 years, is my recollection. Councillor Smith?
Councillor Andrioli is correct, and that's also how we have the one of the leases that we have is a legacy from those relationships, which is not necessarily what's best for the village.
I'm going to defer this item for now until next time. I think it's worth touching base with the Twinning Association and asking for their advice or their input. I'd like to know how they feel, considering that they have had a rep previously. I think it might be worth just touching base with them and then bring it back to council to make a decision once more.
So are you also going to approach all the other organisations that have membership in the village? I don't believe that it's fair and equitable to approach just one. We need to treat all of the organisations the same as the parish council. We need to be fair across the board.
That's possible. It's possible something to consider. Councillor Brown?
You're also a member of Twain, are you not?
No, I've never been an up. No, that's last year. I've never been a paid member of Twinning. No. Hence why I've always been their rep. So yes, we defer that and bring that back to next full council, if I may. Thank you.
Chair,
Councillor Brown.
you would need a vote to say that we were going to defer that and bring it back.
Can I amend your proposal to say that we approach all the other organisations and we act as a council to be fair and equitable?
Yeah, see
Yes, it will work.
if other councils are willing. If other councils are willing to take, if the organisations come, it then all depends on if council can accommodate them. So it will come down to Councillor Carson.
If we accept the amendment, we are committing to approaching every other organisation to have the discussion, and I think that's rather too much work right now.
Okay.
So we need a seconder for the amender if we're going to vote on it. Amendment, sorry.
Okay. Do we have a seconder?
I'll say.
Councillor Scobie. So do we have a show of hands? Councillor Lucas Swift, would you like to recite your proposal?
That we act as a parish council and be fair and equitable to all of the membership organisations across the village rather than select one or two to have parish council representation, and we have equitable representation across membership organisations.
Okay. Councillor Carson.
It's not quite. I can't remember the original proposal and the amendment. And the amendment was to approach every organisation.
No, is to approach to act equitably as a parish council and approach membership organisations for them to have a parish council representative on their organisation.
Yeah. It's then up to them to whether or not they accept. And then again, whether or not we have the bodies to do so when it comes to asking councillors to sit under the ones that do come forward. So we have a proposal. May we have a show of hands, please? All in favour?
Just keep them up for a
Yeah.
moment, yeah. Okay, thank you.
All against? All
Yeah.
against, please. And abstains?
Should be approved.
Brilliant, thank you. Okay, item 14 on my agenda is a letter from MP Suella Braverman, update for Denley Parish Council to note. Yes,
Just on that, I would like to highlight the bottom paragraph. It's pertinent to a planning inspectorate appeal that we have next week. Our MP pointed out that she was very concerned for several months about the illegal encampments behind the Chairmaker's pub in Denmead, and she has met with local residents and visited the site. She's met with the police on several occasions now to find a solution to any potential illegal activity and an end to the intimidation that has gone on. Please rest assured the police are very much aware of this problem and are taking action to support residents, and she will provide a fuller update in due course. Members may well have seen the update on Facebook and the news articles that were sent round. The police actually raided the premises and seized thousands of pounds worth of equipment. So I think that's a very strong positive. And as I say, there is an appeal next week at the Planning Inspectorate. They are appealing Plot 2, which is the one right at the very front, are appealing against enforcement action on a refusal of planning permission. So they put in for planning permission, it was refused. They appealed the refusal, that was dismissed. Winchester then have enacted enforcement, and they are appealing against the enforcement action. So as your district councillor, I will be representing the village as a district councillor. So we need someone from the parish to come on behalf of the parish council.
Brilliant, thank you. Okay, that's note. Item 15 on my agenda is the 5 councillor motion to receive a 5 councillor motion to approve and agree Councillor Berry to be removed from the Amenities Committee and added to the Highways Committee to discuss and determine action. I think the first thing we need to do is ask Councillor Berry whether or not he's happy for that action. For that.
No, sorry.
Sorry. Councillor Angeli first.
This is not worded correctly. It basically should have been said to, by councillor motion, to rediscuss the membership of the committees, and that would have been it, should have been it. Had that passed, which I suspect it would have done, then the proposal to move Councillor Berry to from one committee to another could have been discussed and approved. But as a 5 councillor motion should just be saying we wish to rediscuss a resolution from a previous meeting, and not to actually say what the discussion should be about.
It's difficult here because I've got it in front. There was a resolution at the AGM on the 21st of the 5th, 2025, and we, the undersigned, wish to rediscuss the following. And that hasn't been. Councillor Smith.
I'm afraid there's also an element of predetermination in that statement, because it's to approve and agree Councillor Berry to be removed. So you're instructing council on what the outcome of that ought to be. It should be to consider, discuss and consider, not to approve.
I accept what's been said. However, everybody here is clear what the point of discussion is. I do believe it would be the chairman's decision as to whether to proceed or not.
Chair, I'll raise a point of order. You cannot continue because the motion is incorrect. We have to have a motion to rediscuss the point, and if it's passed that we can rediscuss it, then the discussion of whether Councillor Berry moves committees is the second discussion. You have a second discussion, and as a point of order, it cannot continue.
Sorry, I think it was
Councillor, I would like to identify the standing order. The state's point of order against.
Councillor Scone first, please.
Yes, the Councillor Berry being involved in this motion, it's relevant really. First thing we've got to discuss is the 5 councillor motion, and that's got to be agreed first, and then we discuss what we want to do afterwards, and that has to be discussed and then voted on by the members of the committee. And that's the way it works. So you can't say we want to approve the movement of Councillor Berry from one committee to another, because that's not 5 councillor motion, basically.
Councillor Brown.
I don't have to provide a standing order that says that I can ask a point of order.
Councillor Carson.
Councillor is incorrect. Yes, he does.
We can go backwards and forwards all night, Chair, but I think that I've raised a point of order, and it is a point of order because the item on the agenda is incorrectly written. Whether you have a 5 councillor motion or not, it is incorrectly presented to council. And it wasn't the clerk that signed this agenda off, it was the chair of council.
Councillor Carson. Oh, sorry. No, that's not after, please.
you repeat what I said earlier, yes, you do have to identify the point of it's your decision as chairman to decide whether we will discuss and determine action on this item.
Again, I will point out the fact of predetermination because you are instructing council to approve and agree.
Councillor Brown.
I would propose this is deferred to the next full council meeting with the correct information put on the agenda. The correct 5 council motions put on, and then the correct second part of the agenda item. Because it isn't one agenda item.
Then I would propose that the wording is corrected and goes back via an extraordinary meeting so we can expedite this process that is taking too long and move on.
Okay, so we've had 2 proposals. So,
Sorry, Chair.
oh, sorry, Councillor Brown.
That is predetermination.
I'm sorry?
Because Councillor Carson has just said that we need to, this is taking too long and we need to move this on, saying that it will happen. That is predetermination. There is nothing to say that we will even rediscuss this point because it's been put down wrong, we can't discuss whether we will even discuss it. So to say we will firstly have an extraordinary meeting to expedite this says it's predetermination. Councillor Carson probably saying wrong, and we'll have to prove it now. But
Councillor Carson.
I'm going to aim the comment that there is no predetermination for the comments to expedite this and move it on is to move on the action that will come out of that discussion.
One more. Councillor Brown.
Whatever that action
sorry,
is.
Chair, but that is predetermination. If you're expressing what the outcome is going to be, it is predetermination.
I said to discuss.
No, you said, sorry, Chair, the words were that you will, the outcome will come through, or words to that effect. So the outcome will.
Thank you. I can't explain in detail because it is under the confidential agenda, but there is another 5 councillor motion this evening which is written correctly, and it says we the undersigned wish to rediscuss the Act, and then it specifies, it does not say that we are going to approve and agree Councillor Berry to be removed from amenities. So that is the element that I'm suggesting is predetermining the outcome. So the resolution that you wish to rediscuss by 5 councillor motion under the exempt agenda is correct in that you're asking for a discussion to be, for a decision to be revisited. It does not predetermine what the outcome of that discussion will be. So a vote will be taken on that and then you have a discussion on the agenda item. So that is the correct process for a rediscussion, not to say we wish to rediscuss and approve and agree Councillor Berry. It's a 2-step process, and that's where the problem lies, Chair.
Councillor Carson.
So I still maintain my proposal is that it's brought back with the correct wording. I accept that the wording is not correct, but we bring that back via an extraordinary so that we can get the item off the agenda, whatever the outcome.
Yes, the wording has been changed.
I second that.
Okay, just put your hand up. Okay, we've had a proposal, we've had a seconder. We've been discussing this now for some time. So we go to the vote for the proposal that's been introduced. That's Councillor Carson's one. Can you recite your proposal once more, please?
That we call an extraordinary meeting to discuss discuss with correct wording, please make sure it is correct, to discuss and determine action.
Sorry, point forward, Chair, and that can't be raised at this meeting. That would have to be discussed after this meeting and sent into the chair and asked for an extraordinary meeting to be called. It cannot be done now.
I agree with Councillor Brown actually on that occasion. Who was first this time, please?
Chair, you can't actually call a meeting to discuss the proper wording of a potential item on the agenda. You can formulate the proper item of the agenda and then call a meeting about it, but you don't do it the other way around. That's not the way it's done. So that is basically incorrect. Councillor Carson is totally incorrect in what she's saying, and one that should be taken into account too.
Councillor Jones, then Councillor.
Simplify, if you simply bring it back on the next full council agenda, correctly worded. There's one amenities meeting that will be missed in the meantime. So if the success is what people are saying will be, if one meeting is missed, I think all this to and fro is really pointless. Just bring it back on the agenda, correctly worded, and it doesn't matter anymore. It can be discussed then properly.
Councillor Angeli, then Councillor Carson.
Councillor Carson has made a proposal which was seconded by Councillor Vickers. I don't believe that such a proposal can be made in a committee to call an extraordinary meeting. However, the method of calling and asking for an extraordinary meeting is for two councillors to approach the chairman of the council asking for an extraordinary meeting. So I suggest that this proposal is withdrawn and those two councillors approach the chairman and ask for an extraordinary meeting.
And if the chairman refuses to call a meeting, then you are able to call that meeting yourself.
Councillor Brown, last one, please.
Just one final point. The RFO did send an item or an email out earlier in the week about calling extraordinary meetings. Make sure everyone's read that.
Okay, Councillor Carson, do you wish to withdraw your proposal?
Yes, I will.
Okay. Yes, I'd like to. Councillor Angeli made a good point there. I believe that's probably the best course of action for this. Councillor Jones, sorry, was it a proposal? Did you make a proposal?
You don't need to,
No,
Chair, you
we
just
need to
move
now.
it to the next agenda.
Yeah.
You simply state that you've moved it to the next agenda.
Okay, I'm happy to move it then to the next agenda.
Yes. Can I just say that I support Councillor Jones's view on the subject and to just put it to the next
Put it to the next one. I'm happy for that. Thank you. Okay. Okay, thank you. Item 16 on my agenda is the confidential report to pass a resolution in accordance with the Public Bodies Commission. Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye.
Thank you.
Resolutions Act 1960 to exclude the public and press for discussion of confidential report relating to the following matters. Minutes of council confidential report, minutes of the FAMP confidential report, transfer of land.